Yo, what's going on, man? In today's episode, what I'm going to be talking about is something some of you guys might relate with, and that is you haven't been consistent enough with the habits and daily actions you want to do because you haven't done it consistently. If you do it consistently, it's way easier and does not require discipline or willpower. A lot of people have this notion that it's so hard to diet and exercise regularly, or it's so hard to stay away from my bad vices, whether it's drugs, pornography, endless time on social media. Any of these bad vices, they find it hard, but it's because you haven't been consistent long enough without doing it or doing the positive actions instead. I'm telling you, man, one thing I had major difficulty with is waking up at 4 in the morning. And a lot of people think, oh, 4 in the morning, damn, bro, why do you wake up so early? It's about the discipline, man. It's about the discipline. Waking up when you are not fully rested some days, as well as waking up earlier instead of enjoying the comfort in your bed. And getting up out of your bed is giving you your first win because most people rather just sleep in. Most people I know, at least personally, they don't get up at 4 in the morning. They rather just sleep instead. And that's nothing wrong with them. It's just something I personally do, man, because if I wake up at 4 in the morning the first day, then that win is gonna translate over throughout my day, man. But I digress, man. I don't want this video talking about waking up at 4 in the morning. But yo, I had the hardest time waking up at 4 in the morning. And it was because I wasn't doing it consistently, bro. It's just that simple. It's really just that simple if you think about it, man. I wasn't consistent in the fact that I would maybe do it a couple days out of the week, like 3 or 4 days out of the week, and maybe that Friday or Thursday hit, and I might slack off that one day, and then the weekend hits, I might have to work a late shift, and then I'm like, man, I'm not trying to get 4 hours of sleep, so I give myself the excuse just to sleep in and stuff. And listen, man, I'm not advocating for you to fuck up your sleep, but I wanted to make waking up at 4 in the morning a daily habit I did every single day, man. I just the way I honestly have just been consistently waking up at 4 in the morning every single day initially was just I would just woke up at 4. It sounds so fucking simple, man, but I just did it every single day, 7 days out of the week. I didn't give a fuck if I only got if I came home at 12 and I got into bed at 12:30 and I had to wake up at 4. Now I was only getting 3.5 hours of sleep after working 14-hour shifts. I had like my 8 to 4, and then I would have my like 6 to 12 right after. I would still wake up at 4 in the morning, man, because I knew as long as I kept doing it, even through those stretches when it was hard, especially when it's hard, man, that the habit will just continue on and it'll just be something I do effortlessly now. Now, regardless, man, because I've done it for so many weeks now at this point, it doesn't matter if I only get a couple hours of sleep. Sometimes my body just naturally wakes up at 4 in the morning, even if I didn't get the optimal amount of rest. And my body just instinctively knows to just get up out of my bed at 4 in the morning when my alarm goes off without me having to use much willpower. And that's because I did consistently at this point now for, I would say, at least close to 2 months now, maybe even more. And listen, 2 months is absolutely nothing. I got to do this shit for a year for it to really just be built within me, man. But the problem I think you guys have, and it's a problem I had, is you find things difficult because you're simply just not consistent. If anything in your life is difficult, just remember in your mind that you just haven't been consistent enough with it, man. Because what I mentioned, if you are just consistent throughout a long period of time, man, eventually you don't need willpower or discipline to actually do the habit. Like I promise you, it is very fucking difficult for me not to hit 2 workouts a day. I've been doing it for so many days at this point, man, that I really, it would take a lot, man. Unless COVID happened, I would still be hitting motherfucking workouts outside or inside my house. I would not make an excuse. I would still get a workout in. Even if it was just like push-ups, pull-ups, and sit-ups, I would still do that workout, man. But the reason why it's so fucking easy for me and I don't need to think about it, I don't need discipline like you guys, is because I just have been consistent and I've done it over a long period of time. Now, how can you build that consistency? I know you're hearing me rant on and you're like, fuck, this guy's right. I do need to build a consistency. How do you build a consistency? Number one, you need to track it. If you can, there's this phrase, I'm probably going to fuck it up, but what can't be tracked cannot be managed. Meaning, if you're not tracking every single day, if you're not doing like a daily audit of your day every single day and seeing if you're actually doing the daily habits or actions you want to do every single day, how the fuck are you gonna know if you're actually progressing towards your goal? You need the best way I would suggest, if like you had a fitness goal in particular, is to create a habit tracker and just make 3 different columns, one for working out, one for sleep, and one for your diet. And write down 30 days, all right? And then you can do this every single time a new month happens, but basically you have those 3 columns, and then every single time you hit the workout, check mark. Every single time you got the adequate amount of sleep, check mark. Every single time you follow your diet, check mark. But then on the days you miss, you put an X. What this is going to do is it's going to gamify the situation for you and actually give you a visual representation of your progress. And I'm not sure about you guys, but what ends up happening to me is because I'm seeing a visual representation of my day every single day, I want to see all fucking check marks. I do not want to fucking miss. I want my shit to be all green check marks. I don't want to see no red X. You're gamifying it, and that's going to help you build consistency. And if anything, man, if you're not hitting your goal, you know exactly why. You can just refer back to the sheet. Second thing I would recommend is find someone to keep you accountable. Now, I'm not saying you have to hire me as someone to keep you accountable, but if you have a friend, family member, anyone really, just ask them to check in with you every single day to see if you did what you were supposed to do. This way, because the thing about us is it's so goddamn easy for us to lie to ourselves, man. We lie, bro. I was lying to myself for so fucking long, for so many fucking days, man. Honestly, the accountability sheet, that daily habit tracker, was the only thing that could keep me accountable. Because even when I got even when I would tell my friends, yo, can you check in on me? Sometimes they weren't as reliable, which is not their fault, right? It was my life that I wanted to fix. They're probably dealing with their own shit. But the second thing is, man, if someone is at least keeping you accountable, what I noticed is that, and this is actually true, it's the Hawthorne effect. It's like when you're actually being observed and someone's actually checking in with you, you're more likely to do a better job. It was taken from a book from, I forget the fucking book, but basically Henry Ford, he simply just got told the workers at the factory, yo, listen, don't change anything you're doing. We're just gonna watch you guys. And production went up. When you're being watched, you're more likely to be accountable to your actions, man. Because if you're not, man, because we are not accountable for ourselves, at least mentally. That accountability tracker can definitely help. But when you're trying to be accountable to someone else, bro, if you're fucking up, they're gonna be like, bro, what the fuck you doing, man? What the fuck are you doing? And the third thing I recommend to really build consistency is to remove any bad habits that are holding you back when it comes to the daily things you want to do consistently. I know, for example, the reason I couldn't wake up at 4 in the morning was because I was smoking weed every single night. It was damn near impossible for me to wake up at 4 in the morning because I would just have the craziest deep sleep, and I would rather just sleep in, man. Literally just taking that shit out my life, man, it made it way fucking easier to be consistent at waking up at 4 in the morning. You need to remove shit, bad habits that you are messing up your consistency. Like, let's say, for example, you know that when you tell yourself you're gonna go to the gym after work, it never ends up happening because you're too tired after work. Then go before work. Then you can't make up the fucking excuse. You need to figure out the bad habits you're doing and remove them out your life. Okay? I promise you, if you have either an accountability tracker or someone to keep you accountable, plus you're removing the bad habits, it will make consistency on the daily actions and habits you want to do in order to achieve your fitness goal way fucking easier, man. All right? And just remember, when things are hard, they are only hard because you haven't been consistent at it. When you are consistent at something for a long enough period of time, eventually it doesn't require discipline and you can just do it effortlessly because it's a habit. All right? Just like how I'm making videos every single day. Maybe at the beginning it was pretty annoying having to record a video, but now I just do it every day. I really don't give a shit. I love spitting on the camera. Pause. Pause, pause, pause. But what I'm trying to tell you, man, is that because you do certain actions every single day, it will require less discipline because it's a habit, but you need to make sure you're doing it consistently. I probably emphasize that point 8 or 9 times, but I really need to drill it into your brain. All right. With that being said, man, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We're almost at 200 subscribers. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could like the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Other than that, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one.